Yes. So she told me she might not be able to make it. She has a lot of events going on at the end of the month. But if she comes, that'd totally be great. If not, I did ask, if she can listen in on it, that'd be cool too. But guys, just to let you know, hello Facebook. We're getting ready to start in a minute, and we'll just go ahead and share, please. If you don't mind. Actually, that's what I do. I think there's a little share button on here. Let's see here. Boop, boop. Use my little five head here. Don't mind me. Just sitting up here sharing some stuff. Share, 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 sharing. I don't know if there's a limit of sharing. Maybe it is. We're gonna find out, aren't we? Yep. We only do 15. All right. Bet. That's cool. All right. Thank you guys for joining. Dog, are you
He's sleeping real good.
breathing real hard over there,
Snoring.
buddy? He was our dog.
I can't hear.
Hello, Dr. Evelyn. How you doing? So tonight, guys, we are going to dive into relationships, right? We're not experts. Disclaimer. Um, the views and opinions expressed on the Sofa Pillow Talk podcast are those of the host and guests and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position on the podcast. The content provided is for informational purpose only and should not be taken as professional advice. Listeners are encouraged to seek the guidance of qualified professionals regarding their specific relationship um, situations. The podcast is not responsible for any action taken based on the information provided. Okay, so and that's going to be our disclaimer for every episode that we do, due to something we just recently watched. I don't want nobody sitting up to me. Oh, y'all ain't relate. Well, we're not trying to be relationship coach. I actually was trying to go down that through that journey, but after I see what relation coaches are and what they do, that's actually not what I was thinking. I looked into that venture wrong. Um, Probably going to sit down and attend school, counseling, therapy wise, therapist in a sense. So that's something I want to do. I want to work with people in their past, their trauma. I think you get more healing going that direction than that's not anything about anybody doing life coach or relationship coaching. That's just what I would like to do. I want to heal the inner depths of people because I think we run from our past entirely too much and don't understand that our past is the gateway into bettering ourselves. Definitely once we figure out who we are. And then, you have your life coach coming in to propel you in even a better direction. So, episode is relationship dead.
Hmm?
Our relationship dead.
Oh, that ain't what you said, but
Yes, it
okay.
is a relationship dead. Our relationship dead. Hey, I don't even know my own. Our relationship dead. That's the
They
title.
should have be.
And they shouldn't be.
No.
Well, we're going to talk about it.
Are we dead?
I don't think so. We're going to talk about it right after the
I'm alive.
intro.
I'm alive.
So, what you think, baby?
About what?
Your idea.
Why is it asking me this?
What you doing? Oh, you can't do it on our. You got to go
I
to your
can
page.
say I am on my page over here.
Oh yeah, it's not going to allow you
I
to.
didn't realize I was on.
Yeah, it's not going to allow you to.
Alright.
So, do you think relationships are dying, or dead, past tense, or are they
People,
dying?
I feel like relationships fall into numerous categories. It's not just limited to marriage
Mm-hmm.
at all. We have relationships with people that we meet on a casual basis. um, every day. I mean, a relationship is just a basic connection between two or more people, regardless of whether it's intimate or not.
So,
It can be professional, it can be romantic, it can be friendship, it can just be a simple acquaintance. Hey, how you doing? Everything good with you? How the kids doing? How the family doing? That's a relationship.
right. Yeah. 'Cause even with your kids,
So our relationships there, as long as there's people alive, no.
you're going to always have some form of relationship.
Yeah.
All right. So, outside of that,
Hmm.
the intimacy, the relationship of dating, do you think
There's
that,
intimacy in friendships too. So
what would you call a intimate?
my friendship with my best friend. That's a very intimate relationship. We share lots of things. I love her like a sister. It's like we have an intricate, detailed relationship. Like
Okay.
we're not romantic partners. I would say not even platonic, but in a sense, yeah.
Okay.
Like I feel like I can rest in her pretty good, and vice versa. It's we have a very deep relationship.
Okay. Well, I can see how they can be considered like intimate
Hmm.
in a sense,
Oh
and
yeah.
and I do feel like,
Intimate and sex are not the same thing.
and
It's
see,
okay to be intimate and not be sexual.
so it was something that we was talking about on the show earlier,
Hmm.
where words and
And
Dr.
I'm big on
Evelyn,
words. I'm good.
words are
Words and definitions. Like we can break it down. We can
the,
take it there.
the substance of words are not there, or people not really paying attention to. So like how you
What
say
the words are and how they're used.
right, like that
Yeah.
that main saying of
Oh, if I say, oh, me and my best girlfriend have a very intimate relationship, most people look at it like, oh, that's your
pretty much how I
partner.
was looking at it, because
No,
for me
that's my
intimacy,
friend.
that's the only thing I know about intimacy is being intimate, not sexually, but just like
This is
you
an
know,
intimate moment now, and we're not sexual at all. So
no, it ain't intimate yet.
now you're trying to be sexual.
Huh? No, no, not
Got
really.
your little bedroom eyes on me.
Nah, not me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Dr. Evelyn says, words are
Oh, she must be on the book.
on YouTube. Words are my love language. Yeah, says the person that wrote a book about me and just trashed me all in her book. I'm just
Oh
playing.
my
She
God! Don't
did. She did. She
don't
has a
do
great
that.
book. What that book is? Dog is downstairs. No.
To speak.
Well, I was gonna say that. Uh,
Evelyn Whitney.
yeah. True speak. The
I was gonna say my
reason
book downstairs in the
why.
picture.
Let me put it in the thing here because I want y'all to go to
The
the
reason
link.
why men and women can't communicate.
Uh, True. You can get it on Amazon and
Ah.
everything, but that's not it. I'm gonna share it in what you call it, but and Dr. Evelyn, if you want to share it, you can too. But
She gonna get you for keep calling her doctor.
she was a doctor, so we got 3 bullet points, guys. So is marriage the goal in dating?
I'm proud of you for putting yourself on the schedule.
You should have saw me down there at the last minute. I said, "Fuck." Wife says she wants something structured. Ah,
You was typing your little butt off, huh?
yeah, because I had planned on washing dishes and stuff, but
Wow. Oh,
yeah, so yeah.
that would have been an intimate moment. Oh my god.
Well, me washing the dishes,
Mm-hmm.
I'm still gonna wash the dishes. I just ain't washing dishes
So
right
that's
now.
how sexy it is.
So, is marriage the goal in dating? Do you
Oh,
think
okay.
marriage should
I
be
don't know. I
the
was
goal?
going to sofa real talk. It should marriage be the goal?
Mhm.
Oh no.
In dating, it should.
Mm-mm.
So, I guess that's the question that I asked on TikTok.
Mm.
Should you date in an intent to marry? Like,
You asked other people that? Or
yeah,
you asked me?
yeah, that's what I.
How did I answer? Did
No,
I
you
answer
didn't
that?
ask.
Oh,
No,
I
that's just
didn't
that
answer
one person. I did it late because we did have someone said on TikTok. They answered the question. They stated yes, and the intent to marry. Yeah, that's the only reason they're dating. And I'm asking you guys too. Are you dating to marry, or are you just dating? And I guess that was a poll on Facebook too. I got to go back and check. Are you dating to marry, or are you dating
Come
to
on, you ain't
have
checking before
fun?
that?
So yeah, what you
That's
think?
an interesting question. Um. Uh, so why does it just have to be dating to have fun? Why can't it be a serious relationship or partnership?
Because I think a serious relationship and a partnership is
It have to.
somewhat
They have to be married.
not have to be married, but
Mm.
eventually, I think, in which looking at the poll, 75% of people
So
on
say
Facebook saying dating to marry.
me and you have been dating for 40 years, but we've been faithful to each other, haven't had any inside outside partners, but we never physically gone down and gotten married on paper. Hear me out, because now you say that marriage for you is infinite at the consummation of the marriage, which means at the level of sexual content. So we are married sexually already, but we ain't never went down and actually solidified it with state marriage. But we go everywhere together. Everybody know we together.
It don't
And,
matter.
and and say I even have gone to the length of changing my name to your last name, but not marrying you.
Uh-huh.
Is that still not valid? So I still got to go. You
You still got to go to what?
go to the courthouse and get married.
No, we didn't have to go to the courthouse this time. I had told you my spiel. You've already known. No, that's the first
So
thing.
you would have been okay with me saying no, I don't want to marry you. I want to be your partner for life.
I already explained to you what my spiel was. The paper for me is not something that needs
So
to be.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So you asking me dating with the intent to marry, then I would have to say my answer would be no, because if I had not married you, then you would be okay with us just being married, being together,
No.
being
No, because I'm going to tell you my
you would
angle.
be okay with us just being
Yeah,
together and not
somewhat.
being married.
Somewhat, because I was
So
saying
you still
sex.
would want us to go and get married.
No, that's what I'm saying. Well, I ain't said it yet. What I'm about to say is because you know where I stand at when I say when I'm having sex. Sex for me is sacred, and that covenant and that consummation of
Okay, so
we're
I
married.
agree to all of that.
Yeah, so we're married. So I don't have to go and get a paper to identify that for me.
Okay. So you just don't need the paper to
I
identify,
don't need
but you
that
still
paper.
want to engage in the institution of
Yes.
paper marriage.
No. It don't. It doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying. If I don't, it does. I don't have to have the paper, and that's what I was telling you. For me, because I know a lot of people get offended about the paper. It means a lot to y'all. I get it. I understand,
The
and it's
contractual
just
agreement.
my opinion on it. I don't have to have the paper. Um, Evan says it depends on what a person wants. If they want marriage, then yes. If they just ended a relationship and just want company for a while, then dating is just company. And again, like I explained to my wife when we first started dating, I was actually on a journey of I didn't have what it was like before we did anything, having
He had told
abstinence.
me he had abstained.
I had abstained for a year and a half because it was part of my journey, and I knew that was part of my journey. That was something that I needed. It was more of a less of a cleansing for me, and regardless, even if it would have lasted longer before me and her did anything, it would have happened like that because my intent was to marry my wife. So even if she had come to me and said, you know what, boom,
I did come
I
to you and pretty much say, you know what, I ain't even ready to get married right now. I
no,
did tell
I
you
ain't talking
that.
about marriage. I might have sex.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I kind of had, laid that out there too. I ain't ready.
yeah. So, but I did come to you and say, hey, I would like to proceed with sex. And you agreed. So we what you finna say? What you finna say?
What's the next question?
What you finna say, man? Huh? What's that one now?
Has
What you,
has sex changed the idea of getting married? So,
mm, mm,
all
mm.
right. So
What's the same thing? Do we need to? I guess that's kind of the same. Do you need to? No, we answer that. Do you need to date if you
and,
don't intend to get married?
and so for you, so say for instance, all right, cool. We are dating,
Okay.
or when we were dating,
Mm-hmm.
if we had left sex out,
Mhm.
but say, you know what, I like you, you're a great partner, I would want to continue to pursue this relationship.
Okay.
I still feel like at some point you would not have been okay with going along with just having sex and dating and not being married.
Before. Yeah, like 4 years.
Yeah, but
Even
you're
though I asked the person, but
changed now, right?
huh? Yeah, no, it's still because I through my journey, that's something that I learned.
So you were willing to say, hey, look,
If you told
we don't
me
have to get married.
again, that's what my patience was with you. I'm not ready. I don't know. I might not never be ready. Okay,
Yeah, I
cool.
did say that.
But just to let you know what mine is. So for me, I was already married, but I was still open to the fact that you telling me that all right, it's not gonna work. We need to go our separate ways because I sat and I stayed. So I can't blame you or anything. Now, if you did something like
Had sex with
nasty,
another man.
yeah, then I'll be upset and probably hurt, But just so sitting down, I'll still be hurt, even if you would have just told me, hey, yeah, you okay? But I think I want to do something else. I would have been hurt. But that's still for me. It would have left and because we were friends first.
Hmm.
That still would open the door for me to still be a friend and wish you well. That my thing is, I don't think people value that enough because everybody is trying to get pissed off with what somebody did to somebody or doing something intentionally, but they're not taking responsibility. So now you have somebody hurt, you know, and you're not understanding why they're hurt, or you want to downplay their hurt.
Hmm.
And so I can see how someone, I don't condone vindictiveness, but I can see how somebody just straight out pissed. I don't want to talk to you. Don't bother me. I don't want to see you type thing. You know what I'm saying? So
Um, do you need to date if you don't intend to marry? I feel like that is a absolute question that should not be asked.
that's a question that should not be asked.
An absolute
An
question, just
absolute
like
question.
our therapist was telling us about
Absolute
absolute statements.
statement. Okay, you think that's an absolute question that
You
shouldn't be.
should not just say, "Oh, I'm dating with the intent to marry."
Yeah.
Some people just may never be capable of clearing themselves to be in a relationship.
So okay, but you're dating though. So do you think you should date?
I don't see nothing wrong with dating for company. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, human connection is built on relationships, dating, conversation, getting to know people.
Hmm, not sure what this person talking about. You're not married.
Well, I guess they were asking.
Oh, they may be talking about what we were talking about. You're not married
Oh yeah, because
if you
we
don't
were
have the
kind of
paper. Okay.
theoretically.
Yeah. Hello.
So yeah,
Let me see. Evelyn says.
I don't know. How does as a single well, I mean, let me not put nobody else's business out there. As single people, how do y'all feel about somebody saying you don't need to be dating if you're not intending on marrying somebody?
So Evelyn says, should you date if you don't intend to marry? If you are honest about it, so the expectations are set, then yes, don't mislead someone.
I agree. I
No,
would say that's fair, and I say that's what I feel like that's an absolute statement because again, at the end of the day, like, what if you date a few people and you say, you know, I do want to get married, and then after you date a few people and you kind of assess your life and you sit back and you say, I don't want to be married,
yeah.
but I do want to have a partner or have someone in my life. Um, oh, she confirmed I am single for
Oh yeah, she said it before. I'm single for
tax
tax purposes.
purposes.
Yeah, she says I'm
I
single for
feel
tax
you.
purposes.
I'm interested in dating just to be dating. So in saying that you're interested in dating just to be dating, so you're dating with no intention of getting married.
No, say I'm not interested in dating just to be. Oh,
Okay.
yeah, just to be dating. If she's dating with the intent to marry.
Dating with intent.
Yeah.
Okay. And most people do date with intent. Most people date with the intent of finding their person, or somebody got some love hearts going on down there. All right,
Mm.
Evelyn and Johnny, we have to watch out for y'all too now.
That no little heart, girl. He laughing.
You sure?
You can't see. He
Oh, my
laughing.
bad. Oops, my bad.
So that segue us into the last bullet point. Has sex changed the idea of getting married?
I finna say for the younger generation coming up and the older people fading out with the shacking up is shacking up
Taboo.
thing.
You're going to
Yeah, it's
hell.
taboo. You're going
Y'all
to
going to hell.
nowadays these young folks just out here doing it and loosing and goosing with everybody they can get it in with. Trying to find that one that makes them happy,
Tashawn said,
satisfied.
we're trying to hook folks up.
Ooh.
Tashawn said, we're trying to
Oh
hook
no,
folks
no, no, no. We are definitely not the matchmakers.
up.
Don't put that title on us. No ma'am. Um, but no, I would say for a lot of young people, I would say even for my children, they see marriage.
Mhm.
They've seen good in a marriage. They've seen bad in a marriage. But both of them have expressed that I don't know if I want to get married. Matter of fact, I think one of my kids is like, I want kids, but I don't even know if I want kids.
Because they're looking at themselves.
So
They're
it's
looking at
just
themselves.
there are options and people are exploring the options. I feel like for a long time, a lot of people in the past were forced to get married to people they didn't want to be married to.
And I think
So
that's what's
now that
changing it.
now that you have the option to say, I don't want to do this. I don't gotta do this.
Yeah,
This
I
is
think
not
that's really
for
what's going
me.
on.
Let me just not do this.
And I think
Then
that
it's okay.
I think the concept of going to hell is, and folks haven't really seen people go to hell, has also been a catalyst to it.
Just because you
But
see
I know
people,
because you don't see it. I
people.
know because you don't see it. I know, but I'm just saying. I'm pretty sure. My current experience is all the guys want to hop in the bed. There's
But there's no
nothing more. There's not much real dating.
So nobody's dating to get to know each other. They're just a
That's
lot of
why I
people are
stated
dating to
having
get their
fun.
are hooking up with people to get their rocks off.
Yep, that's why I put down there at the poll, dating just to feel good and have fun. Even though
And
25%,
so 25% say that and 75. At the end of the day, I feel like everybody wants to be loved. Everybody
Yeah,
wants to have that one person that accepts them and love them just as they are with no questions asked and just that unconditional
yeah,
love, you know? So to some people, marriage is like, man, this permanent. This is like infinite.
what you
What if
say?
I don't like this? What if I don't like that?
And I think, in my
Because
opinion,
divorce is also considered taboo too. So a lot of people just don't get married because they feel like I'm just not in a place where I could take that kind of stress.
right. And see, I think that a lot of that comes from hardship. No one wants to work for anything. They just want society has painted that picture, even though they don't promote it anymore. The picket fence, the dog, the house, and the kids, they don't promote it like that anymore. But they still, in a low key form, still promote that happy family that is only happy when you don't have problems.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real. We have a happy family, but this is a stressful family too.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
um,
Yes, it is.
as a person, I see myself, my kids, and my husband as people and individuals. Like there are four different personalities in our home. Well, five with the dog. Um, and each of them have different opinions, different feelings, different things that we have to pull together and make this marriage what it is. Because we have to take the kids and separate them from our marriage in order to make our marriage what it is.
Yeah.
And so we have to have the intent that we're gonna stick this out and make this relationship that is a marriage work.
And you can't be separate. You know, a lot of kids try to pin
One
parents
kid against the other.
against each other, and you can't do that. In order to have a successful marriage with kids, you cannot be separate. You can't not have that. Oh well, I'm gonna go to dad because dad's gonna allow me to do it, and I get it. You know, dad has a little princesses and whatnot, and oh, my princess didn't have anything.
And then that's a relationship to be addressed
Yeah,
by itself. Um,
well, you
and
know, it
that
don't matter.
relationship can really shape the kids on whether they feel like I intend to just date a bunch of people
Yeah,
or forever, or I want to date and find this one person that's like this one person, and
yeah,
that be that. And again, honestly, that's really how I got into the I'm dating with the intent to marry. Because for me, seeing my mom and dad married, my ultimate goal was I want to be married, and I'm going to be married a long time to one person, just like my mommy and
I think
daddy.
that's in the black community a lot.
That's
Cause
every
grandma,
community.
well, you know, I'm saying, and you
That's
see,
every community. I'm gonna say even in white and Latino, it doesn't matter.
mhm,
That's just a perception of marriage. It don't matter what race you are,
yeah, okay, I
because
see
it's
it.
some. I come across couples all day from all walks of life.
Mhm.
I mean, we got some customers that are from other countries, and they've been married to their partners since they were like 17, 18. Long term marriages, and they're not necessarily black, but they always had that intention of I'm gonna find my person, I'm gonna be married to my person, I'm gonna hold my person hand until the day one of us stop breathing and leave this earth.
So, and the
The
reality
art
of
of
it,
that has
it's scary.
died down.
It's scary.
What's scary?
Scary.
That they're
So
not gonna find their person.
no, if you look how the how our kids are wired, that's scary. For me to have to
I
live
don't think so.
30 some years with this one person,
I don't think so.
it is a high
I
percentage
think
of
it's
people that are
the
wanting multiple partners or going through multiple partners, and then they get 50, 60, 70 years old, then they also just want to suddenly have somebody to sit and waste away with them. It's a
it
microwave
happens.
type of thing now, and this ain't working for me. You snore too much, or you poot, you don't wear the right type of clothes, uh, you ain't tall enough. You know, that was almost my issue. I wasn't tall enough. So, but I
What
got
you just
that was one of my issues that I wasn't tall enough. Yeah, I had to cook good. You know.
None of those things made me decide to want to be with you. Because I could have went and found me a chef, somebody that cooks for a living to feed me now. Had nothing to do with that. So,
Mm,
and I could have made sure he was 6'3".
mm, mm. Okay, whatever then.
Mm-hmm.
But uh, is microwavable people,
You feel
kids.
like they looking for it to be an easy fix, quick. Uh, Relationships will work.
It is, and I like seriously. Do you not see that people don't don't want to work it? It's like they
I,
just quit so
I
easily.
know people don't want to work real jobs in real life. I know that.
But
And so I can see
that's
how that could spill over into every
form of relationship too, though,
yeah,
because you have friendships, people that don't want to work with.
yeah.
You know, so is it's
And then you have those that try to overcompensate for other friendships that they build because of hmm, trauma and different issues that they deal with and haven't addressed. I would say that because 95% of the time you stay friends with somebody or stay in a relationship, even if it is just a friendship with somebody, just because you don't know how to say no or you don't know how to express what you do or don't want, or I want to be friends with you, but you're really mean to me.
all right.
People just can't honestly say that,
Evelyn says the separation of sex in marriage is a huge point. The idea that marriage is supposed to be sacred is lost when there is nothing that separates marriage from any other day life situation. And I definitely agree with that too. Actually, purposing for positioning for purposes on TikTok sent me a link where um, the person was talking about marriage
Yeah.
and again, for me, like you can sign the paper, and if you haven't consummated the marriage, you can get the marriage annulled. Now I don't know how they're gonna check you and
Some
figure
people
out, but
sign.
um because
Some
it's not a
people.
marriage.
It's a
Even under
it's a
God.
contract.
Even under
It's
God
a
is not a
contract
marriage.
on a piece of paper.
Yes, it is a contract for the
It's
government, pretty much.
a loan that's really hard to get out of.
Kind of, sort of,
Comes
yeah,
with a little collateral
yeah.
damage. Um,
But I don't think
but
a
some
lot of
people just get married just for the purposes of, oh, okay, well, we're gonna get married, but you're gonna live here and I live here, and we just,
I just don't think a lot of people know that though.
what that.
That you have to consummate the marriage.
I don't think they have no problem with that.
I ain't saying they don't have a
If
problem with that, but
there is no problem with that, because casual sex is like everywhere. I don't think people have
that's so that's so
a
that's
problem
my
with. That's still
thing about,
consummation, even
so
if
that's
they
what I'm
don't want
saying.
to
So that's what I'm trying to say about
get
casual
married.
sex. Folks are out here just marrying hundreds of people.
But some people don't see it like that. Some people don't see it as, oh, I'm just out here dating around. I can't date
Well,
around.
okay, that's a good question. So since you don't see
So
it,
so
does that
I guess
mean
the thing is, there should be a line of separation when it comes to dating and sex. You shouldn't have sex with everybody you date, and
you shouldn't?
you shouldn't date everybody you have sex with.
You shouldn't. You do neither, but
And people, man, I can say those lines get crossed and blurred so
yeah,
much.
yeah,
And so I guess that is where the line of sex is sacred to marriage gets crossed deeply. Like, yeah.
yeah.
It has what you call it, porous boundaries.
Yes. Johnny says they may not see it like that, but that's how it is. And again, it's like a cat is a cat, but because you
Do it.
okay, I don't wanna get banned. I'm not gonna say it, but like somebody see
Hmm.
a cat is a cat,
Hmm.
but just because Caitlin decides to look at it as a dog and she thinks it's a dog, and that's gonna be a dog, it's gonna be a dog. And I think that's something that we're fighting with now more than anything. So because even though factual, it is what it is.
I'm sure if you call the cat puppy long enough, it'll come to you.
I'm pretty sure.
And yeah, if you entice it, say, oh, come here, dog. The cat will soon associate it.
Cause,
Oh, okay.
cause it's probably
My
gonna
name's
think my
Dog.
name
Let
is
me go
dog.
come here.
Yeah, but yeah,
And baby, that's a bad example.
cause I
A
was gonna say
cat does
something.
not have the mental capacity to say,
I was gonna.
"Oh, I'm a cat. I ain't
Okay,
no dog."
all right. So all right, whatever. Let me pull the band-aid off. So
Oh my
a
god!
person sitting up here is a person, and but now they get to identify as a chicken.
Again, that's 100% human thing.
What? That's the same thing.
Hmm.
You a person. You ain't no chicken. So why am I calling you a chicken? And why am I forced to call you a chicken? So unfortunately, so that was the misconception of what our parents and our grandparents and our great grandparents didn't divulge when they were telling us, "Oh, don't have sex before marriage because the only thing is you're going to hell. It's bad. It's against God." But you're not explaining it to me. Sex is getting married with the person. A lot of people don't believe in soul ties. A lot of people don't believe in transferring energy, but that's why it is sacred. You are connecting with the person that you're laying down. It might not be a good connection. That's something that we was talking about, like our first time. Your first time is not meant to just be so amazing. Does it happen
My first
sometimes?
time
Yes.
was not a man.
Might as well not either.
I, no, it was, well, it was They
Your
might they
one,
might see this. So
your one like mine.
there was I'm gonna let me say there was resistance on my behalf.
See, that's what I'm
As
saying.
it
So
started happening, I was like, oh wait a minute.
yeah, so
Oh, this is not what I thought it was gonna be.
me,
I think once I pushed past the pain, it was it was
I'm
bearable.
just going through the motion.
And I'm an addict now, so
You an addict? I was just going through the motion.
going through the motion.
Yeah, I'm just going through the
Did you
motion.
even really know what you were doing?
No,
So in that you were sexually active, and your intent was to date and have sex and eventually marry this person.
no, that didn't happen till afterwards.
So
Before I had sex, you
mhm,
know anything about sex? My parents ain't teach me nothing about sex. We didn't even have the birds and bees talk. So I had no
you just was
idea
doing it.
when it happened, and I haven't changed yet.
You were like, oh, I want this all the time.
No, it wasn't like I wanted sex all the time. 12. I was 12 years
I want to
old,
be in a relationship with somebody all the time.
intent to be married. Yeah, it just automatic. It just
So
fit.
after that first time with that one person, you wanted to be with that one person
Yes, I was with that
forever.
one person for a little bit until she, she cheated on me with an older man. I don't know. She might
It
see
ain't
this.
cheating if you
I'm
ain't
sorry.
married.
Huh? We were married. We had sex.
The mind of a 13-year-old.
Yep, the mind of a 13-year-old. Yep, so was out here trying to get married to folks. Uh,
All right, so I guess
oh
this is
wait, hold
where
on.
the conversation gonna get juicy.
Evidence says true. People feel that sex is such a part of marriage that if consummation has not happened, it can be annulled. It actually can be. That's the thing. It's so
Within 6 months.
yeah,
So
within 6 months it
I
can be.
yeah, and I think we were asking about them having proof of it again. Back in the day, they checked the little girls before and they made them. It was life was different.
Your first time is always amazing, no matter what.
No, it's
Nah,
not.
nah. I'm sorry. If you are a woman who grew up on fairy tales, only she is indoctrinated to believe that her first guy is always supposed to be special. Um,
Oh, he was special now, yeah. But
and
she's the first.
mine was
But
too.
the act
Act
of
of was
losing my virginity was like,
I
oh,
wasn't
I don't
expecting
want
it like
to do
I wasn't expecting mine to be like. I don't know what I was thinking it should have been, but not like that.
this.
But
We'll have to have a story time about that, huh?
men,
If you
uh,
hadn't already given one.
but men forget their first time this month, and no one complains. Yeah, I remember mine. I remember how the bed looked. I remember actually, I can tell you what a house at and the street. It was on Avalon.
Wow. It's a life changing moment for you.
I can take you to it right now. Matter of fact,
A life changing moment for you.
I don't, well, no, she don't, she don't watch my shows like that. But
Well, it just still was a life changing moment
yeah,
for
it was
you.
a life changing moment for me. Yeah, yeah. So we're gonna take this last comment and we're gonna switch gears because it still kind of coincides with the relationship. My first was not special. I thought it was supposed to do because I heard everything else said so, but nah, it wasn't.
That's how I was. I was like, oh, that's what this supposed to be. Wait a minute. Let's
Cause
stop.
the
I'm done.
thing is, you don't know what you are doing. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what to expect because you have
Yeah,
people got different body parts. I, you know, I'm gonna be honest.
that was probably what throwing me too.
Oh yeah, because you said he was
Oh
uncircumcised. Yeah,
yeah.
uncircumcised. Um, y'all don't laugh at me. Just pray for me.
I don't know what
It
you're
went
gonna
until
say.
I got older that I found out that vaginas were different. So the couple of folks that I
Oh.
dated,
So you ain't even
they kind of look,
you ain't even look at it before you did it?
huh?
Huh?
And well, yeah, because I like what you call it, you know,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
So you did that before you did the other act?
No, first time we did it, we had like sex. But guess again, I don't even know why I did that. I'm gonna have the slightest idea why I even went down on them. on her like that. I've never seen it in my entire life, but I did everything that a married man's supposed to be doing to his married wife. 13 years old. Don't ask me how, why, where it came
So
from.
you just a OG just came out doing what you were doing. Okay, all
So,
right.
but yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know that they looked different.
She said she thought it was supposed to be an explosion. Yeah, I was gonna be like, oh, I'm a woman now.
But I thought it was supposed to be an explosion, but nope. It was like, what the hell? Wow.
Yeah, I was kind of like, that's it.
All right. And Miss Purpose says, my current experience is all the guys want.
We
Oh,
already
we already
did
said,
that.
okay.
Ain't
I thought
nobody,
it was something different. Okay. All right. Cool.
ain't
All
nobody
right.
popping on TikTok. So,
Okay.
all right, here
So
go the exciting conversation. Whew.
I don't know if you guys
So, what
have
was number 2?
what was number.
We just winging it.
Yeah, that was supposed to be deleted. It was just that one. I don't know if anybody has seen where there's this maybe you could consider it beefing or whatever with
Coach beef.
yeah, coach beef with relationship coaches and saying who's more qualified to be a relationship coach and tell people how to date and all this stuff, right? Um, and so and I was just talking to wifey about it, and I played some of the clips for her, and if you don't know, Tony Gaskin and Ace Metaphor
Were
is
they on the same panel? Right.
no, they were not on the
They
same
were on
panel.
the same panel talking to each other, right?
It didn't happen like that. It was
I thought
Tony.
they were together.
Tony was invited back to a show that he's already been on.
They were on a show together, right?
Mm-mm.
At the same
They
time.
were, but
That's
it
what I'm
didn't happen. It
saying.
didn't happen like that though. It would just so happen that
So I ain't got all the
yeah,
details.
you
So
ain't got all
I'm gonna be
details.
kind of quiet.
So something that I would love to do for our show is pass the link out as well for people to can come behind the scene to ask questions live if they want to. And so that's what they did. And so they were just talking, and Ace already had got the word about the previous stuff that was out, and he just so happened, oh crap, they live now. He got the link and came up, and they was like, oh crap, guess who on? He in the back room right now. And they asked Tony, hey, do you mind? Because Tony talking about him. Like, oh, you know, you cause you basically so he gets to defend himself pretty much. And Tony's like, yeah, cool. So they brought him up.
Okay.
Yeah. So then they became on the same phone. It wasn't a purpose thing. It was
So they weren't sitting there like me and you sitting here.
nah.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty
That's what
much
it kind of
yeah,
it looked like that from the clip.
nah.
Okay.
So our thing is, well, my thing, I don't know if my wife agrees with me,
Mm.
was Tony wrong for coming out the ace the way that he did? And I do have some clips. I'm not gonna play it because I just don't wanna y'all have to go back and watch it. And to each his own. I'm not taking up for anybody as in because I like one person more than the other. I know both of them off social media and they both have had some things that I said, oh, cool, I like that. But just my opinion, I would say that I get that Ace popped up on the scene, which I am glad he did. He was able to defend himself. Tony pretty much preached hypocritical. And I say hypocritical because the same things that he said that Ace should not be doing at the very beginning of the show, he was preaching kind of the same thing. That's what I do in a sense of or in relationships, you know, you should have all likes of like voices to not don't quote me on it, right? But all likes of voices to talk about a subject or whatnot, you know, because you got so much going on, so many things that, and he
So
might not be able to touch on it, but to have
so
somebody else to,
so Tony Gaskins was saying that Ace Metaphor's platform is just all over the place and don't got
yes,
no structure.
it's toxic, and the man should not be talking to people about relationships. And I don't think that, I think that's far from true.
I don't personally, from what I've seen from Ace Metaphor,
They
he's
they
not
don't really
giving
relationship
relationship
advice.
advice.
It's situations that he's speaking on. And that's what
Yeah.
Ace was trying to explain to him. You say you watched our stuff, but you really haven't.
I don't see him from a coach
Me
perspective.
neither.
I think he has something that offers that, but I don't see that as the
You
forefront or
have
as
the
the main thing he does now. I do see
you got Keita,
the
Rose.
panel that he has,
Yeah.
and he kind of changes it up, adds and takes away
See, but
different
that's what he
people.
was saying as well. Tony was like, you pretty much you just got too many people doing too much. That's how I took off for what he was saying. Um,
But I would say for his platform and promoting dating, I feel it's appropriate to have multiple perspectives,
and that's
not
what
just
Ace
his
was, but
own.
that's what Ace was trying to say.
Because I really haven't listened to Tony Gaskins like that, so I
I
don't really
have,
have a.
and like I said, both come from bad places, and they've changed, and they're doing better. Evelyn said, "Why does T. Gaskin think men shouldn't talk about relationships?"
He didn't say men shouldn't
Yeah,
talk about relationships.
he
He
said that
feels
the
that
topics that
no. He specifically said that Ace Metaphor as a single man should not
not
be
talking
talking
about
about or giving a relationship advice.
yes, he's a
And
single
I'm
man.
saying I don't feel like Ace Metaphor gives relationship
Yeah,
advice.
basically, no man single should give someone that's dating
And that might as well go
advice.
for a single person at this point because there are women who give relationship advice as well. So you're saying that a single person who's not married should not be giving relationship advice. And again, I will go back to relationships are not like limited to just one thing. Anybody can be in a relationship.
Okay, so Sean says he was saying that his audience has too many voices, too much advice. And now that part, I get the large crowd, and but again, if he watches the show, which I've downloaded the app and I paid for a little bit just to watch because I was intrigued by because you can't just watch a clip. You can't watch a clip and see all of that and then just automatically just say something. So yes, he has a large crowd, but they're pointing out and single people are standing up. And to Sean, it's kind of like your stuff where you ask questions. So one person is standing up and saying, "Hey, so this is a situation that I'm in. What do you think about this?" And one person who's ever feel qualified on that, sometimes all of them say something, or one person say, "I got this because this is in my field of not expertise but experience." And sometimes the crowd gets loud, like, "Oh no, 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 no!" And if you're just watching the clips, yes, you will automatically think, what the heck is this? I can't even understand what they're saying. So you have to watch the whole episode. And I don't think a lot of this is what TikTok, Instagram, and 60 seconds does to you. That microwave lifestyle is you don't get the full grasp of what's going on. Cause matter of fact, Vaughn, Maurice's friend, made a statement when we was taking Maurice to I know this kind of like a sidebar to Texas, and he was talking about how we get irate about like shootings, right?
Mhm.
And he said he was in a class and how everybody was up. They showed a clip where someone got shot and murdered and stuff. And everybody was irate. And so they ran out of the classroom, had the whole hall in the college just in an uproar because they were just talking, and the professor allowed that to happen.
Mhm.
Once they calmed down, he came back in. He said, "I'm so glad that you guys express yourself like this. So now let me play it back from the beginning." Granted, the person shouldn't have got, unalived, but the stuff he did put him in that situation.
Mhm.
So you can't always go off of a clip or something. And I think a lot of people judge or judgmental off of people about that one word. And we talked about it on the show earlier too. But
Go- you already did
supplement.
that one. Go back.
Yeah,
Go back. Go down. They got new comments to what we're
okay.
currently talking about. So,
No, she was basically saying
but
too much.
no, keep going down. Now, they commented something else, right?
Okay. What's it? I disagree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. right there.
I disagree that singles shouldn't give marriage advice. People who have bad marriages are less qualified than a stable single person. And you know what? Tony did make that statement in the sense of um, no,
Oh.
no, he did not. He actually stated that
Mm.
he could make he can give good advice because
So
he
if
has been in the
so
good in
so
that.
so marriage out of the way, they both are giving relationship advice in general, not just marriage advice. So my thing would be, why you took it down? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Reading
I
this.
was
Oh, I'm sorry.
commenting on her comment.
Okay, I'm sorry. You need it back.
So yes, I would say that I would take advice from Evelyn Whitney as a single woman. She seems to be well rounded enough to be able to give a perspective of how a relationship should or should not go based on conversation with her.
Mhm.
So I'm not saying that she should give a married person advice, but she knows how she would want a relationship to go. Why can't she offer
All right.
advice on how she feels about a relationship?
So, what you just stated, it was his thing. You should not be dating unless you're dating the intent to marry. So that's his biggest issue. You should not be dating. So he can't, because he's single, be giving someone dating advice because that person that's dating is intent to marry. You ain't married, so you shouldn't be giving a person that's trying to get married advice.
But then I would be turning him away at the end of the day because who says Ace Metaphor ain't a single man looking for the intent to get married? So I don't know. I don't know. Okay.
Okay.
We can go to the next comment. I don't know. What do y'all think?
All right. Um,
I do like them both, but I do favor Tony more because for him it's purposeful according to the word. Everybody don't believe in the same religious belief. Everybody don't have the same
and
background.
I think
So
that's the
and
thing,
some people
and that's
see it different.
and I guess that was my point of I feel that he was attacking Ace more than just trying to feel him out or even just give him his point of view. Because Ace came up and said, "Hey, I get we pretty much in so many words, we're two different people,
Mhm.
and I respect your angle, but I don't like how you're just downplaying my angle. So let me explain to you kind of a little bit." And Tony had the floor all day, which it was pretty much his show in the first place. So I feel like Ace respected him enough that when he talked, and but then he came back and when he tried to answer some of Tony's questions,
Mhm.
Tony was a little bit forceful. And then any person, because I'm like that now. I have this issue with her ex-husband. Whereas then you're asking me something. And now that I'm trying to tell you and you're cutting me off. Okay, I'm being respectful. Hey, but no, 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 no. All right, so listen, let me finish, and that's pretty much what Ace was doing. So his response is, get that bass out your voice,
And
and
so it's a crossing of boundaries. So that's
yeah,
basic turmoil in the relationship. But okay, again, I haven't listened. I don't really listen to either one of them like that, but
right,
I can see how that's like part of
okay.
it. And then she says we just have to be careful on how we use our platforms when it comes to giving advice on anything that will change.
A person's life or destroy that too. I get that, but if
But
so,
that's not
again,
solely the responsibility of a person speaking. Like, so if somebody sees something and they take it to heart and it changes or destroys their life, that has to do with their perception and how they receive that information. That is not anybody else's responsibility on how they put something on their platform. That's my opinion.
so
And
so
so,
and also adding with that is like um
because I can
you
speak on my experience, and if somebody takes it serious enough to say, "Ooh, I resonate with that," and they decide that they're gonna make a decision that alters their life based on that, that's on them, not me.
and this is something that like even when we're giving whatever form of advice or we're just talking, it's not like we say, oh, this is the advice unless we're strategically giving advice. Majority of
Or
the time we're
asked.
just talking. Oh yes, mainly asked to give advice. Most of the time we're just talking. And so, and it's something I tell my kids all the time. I will tell you what helped me or how I went and did XYZ. But if you decide to do the same thing that I did, even though it worked for me, that's yours. You're doing, you're walking it, you putting your hands on it. So you cannot come back to me and say, oh, well, you messed me up because you told me to do it. I didn't tell you to do it. I'm just telling you my experience. And if it resonates with you and you want to go out and try, it is still yours. And I have a child to this day that does that, but he actually comes and asks for advice. And I had to stop giving it to him because my thing is, oh man, you messed me up. You messed me up. What are you talking about? Well, you told me no. You asked me for advice, and I said, this is what I would do. I would do. If you want to take anything from that, you can. If you don't, I won't be mad with you. That's you. So, but if you go and do it, again, it's yours. And a lot of people don't want to take ownership of their own actions. They have to blame someone else off of it. But now with the with that, or when Tashawn just basically stated, change the person's life or destroy. There are so many, unfortunately, there are so many likes of people. And I think, again, that's what Ace was trying to explain to him. I'm only using my platform to touch like a rainbow of people because that's unfortunately that's what this world is. There's no one religion, there's no one color of person. So what I've went through in my life, there's like five other people. That's prime example. I just met someone not enrolling, moving my mom into a senior home. And when I was talking to the manager and stuff, trying to see what the ins and outs were about the shelter and whatnot, and I started explaining to her about my situation, about my parents, and why I was doing what I'm doing, and I gave a testimony about my life and how I was raised and when I was raped and all of this, and that person just broke down and started crying. It shocked me because now I'm trying to figure out what the heck did I say? Was I wrong? And for saying that, and because some people are like, "Why you talking like that? Don't tell nobody nothing like that." Heck, my son for a little bit was saying, "Man, don't tell nobody that." Why? It's something that happened to me. Actually, it's something that molded me to be the person that I am now. Once I understood and I healed from all of that. But she cried, and once she stopped crying, she asked, "I don't know why you showed up when you did, but I am so glad and I know this was God sent because I am having the same issue with my son." And she just basically just unloaded and talked to me. And we're like friends now, but if I hadn't said anything, and I don't think she would have the peace that she has. And people get so caught up in what they're doing and don't understand that it's multiple people, it's multiple thoughts. And even when something that I post, I don't post stuff to aggravate people to offend people. These are just my opinions. This is what I am feeling, and this is what I believe. And I know that other people out there are searching and feeling and seeing the same thing. And some of them are scared because they know that people are going to push back. Because one thing that he stated was Tony said to him that you're playing the other side. And Ace read it for what it was. So are you trying to call me the devil? No, I ain't saying that. But when I went to go cut the clips to play, that's exactly what he was saying. And he said, like the whatever the name of the podcast thing that he do, it's kind of in a sense of promoting devilish things and all this, and that's not true. And I just think that sometimes we get put on high horses with stuff that we're doing, and we get beside ourselves, and we fail to realize that at some point that we were sitting at a low era.
All right, we're running on an hour.
Okay.
And the lights. Whoa,
Oh, okay. Sorry, I told you that.
it's already
I got a little
wrong.
word. I do apologize. And again, I like both of them. I like both of them. Both of them have different views, and I would probably go to each other for whatever the situation is. And that's my thing. I just hate that we fight and argue, or we put each other down in a sense because oh that person is not doing what I'm doing. And I could take again myself for instance, or us, like we have a business, that we're having to dissolve right now because we're looking to do something else to the business, and that we can't do with what where it is now.
We're not dissolving it. We're just expanding,
No, we have to
making room
do
for growth,
well, yeah,
making
but we
room for
still have
growth.
to, we have to
Yeah, I
dissolve
get
it.
what you're
But
saying.
something that my wife told me at the very beginning of our relationship, when I was trying to do my desserts, she said, "Don't," in so many words, "don't put a cap on yourself because if you go down the bread aisle, there are a whole bunch of different breads. So why are you gonna stop? Your bread is different. Well, my treats are different." And that stuck with me. And I realized that. And I'm staying in my lane because that's what I'm perfect at with my type of desserts. And I'm not going to sit up here and talk bad about anybody else and their desserts. So if somebody is doing bad coaching, and I'm gonna throw names out like Derek Jackson and stuff, and he made a valid point. Tony made a valid point about him, that where you're talking about women need to not allow men to treat them a certain way, but you the main wolf in sheep clothing. You know what I'm saying? So
Happens to the best of us.
I can get that, but wifey said
And
we
I do
okay.
like the way Evelyn is stating this. Who is Tony Gaskins to say that there are too many voices in a relationship? Um, Niche, is he in the health field trying to tell people? It does take a team of people to give a person some advice or to save their life or keep them from destroying their life sometimes. So having different perspectives is not so bad at the end of the day. So if there are too many voices, maybe the many voices are there for a reason. And if
And
she
she also
agreed what I
said
was saying, I've
I have
spoken
spoken and helped married people as well.
because communication is, she says later down, communication is her niche and it's an integral part of a relationship. So there's lots of crossover. And, again,
Then
maybe God
she's
will
trying to say
connect
maybe
them for a sit down if it is needed. I do feel like that would be a good thing so that they both can really, and a
they need
mediated
a mean.
setting,
Yeah,
because it sounds like there's already some tension between the two of them that doesn't need to be there.
because I don't know if
Because
it's
there's room for everybody to do what everybody's doing.
yeah.
I think it's good that Tony Gaskins is speaking from a married man perspective, a man who was, I think his perspective, from what I read, was he was not such a good man. Now he's
Right,
doing better,
both
and
of
he's
them.
married. But I would say the same applies to
The
Ace
Ace,
Metaphor.
yeah,
He was not in a good place. Now he's in a better place, and he's finding himself. But he's also helping other people come out of that place.
and he's bringing people up with him because some of the
Right.
folks that he have on
And
his
so they're both
platforms were
doing the
not where
same
they were at
thing,
until they
just
got pulled up with him.
one's married and one
Yes,
ain't married. So it's not fair to, disqualify the man because he ain't married yet. Who knows? He might get married next week, 2 weeks from
yeah.
now. He might meet the best thing ever happened to him. So
Evelyn says my niche is communication because that is such an integral part of relationship. There is lots of crossovers.
yeah, but like she was saying, if you're saying you're a relationship expert or a coach or a counselor of any type, Deshaun, it's a great responsibility. They're trusting you. So
But
again,
that's Ace
a
didn't
lot
say
of
that though.
people.
Ace never said he
I was
was
gonna say his qualifications don't list him as a
a
coach per
relation
se,
coach.
but more of a motivational speaker. And again, for motivational speaking, it doesn't require a degree or to even be held accountable for anything at
Yeah.
this point. So I feel like looking at Gaskins's repertoire, he's written a couple of books and he's got other publicity. It seems that he feels more responsible for the information he puts out. And that's fine. That's good. But again, it still could be something that he's saying that somebody take the wrong way that could still be good or
Yeah.
bad. Just as well as, even though Ace Metaphor is a single man, he could still something he could say that could be taken the wrong way, either good or bad. And so yes, being a counselor is a huge responsibility. Having that insurance, having your butt covered, and making sure you are, you know, doing the right thing and showing people the right way as best you can is like important.
Yeah.
You
So
just have to know what you stand for. It's like Chick-fil-A. They stand on their beliefs and they don't back down for nobody. Nobody.
and again,
Same
that's
as
why
we want it to be.
and that's what I
Yeah.
liked about Ace. I was happy that he came on because he pretty much said, "Hey, I need to go defend myself because that's not what I am." And I'm
And
so happy that they
and
allowed
just
him to do
making
that.
sure he's saying, I'm doing what I'm doing and I'm okay with what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And if he feel like he ain't doing nothing wrong, then oh well, that works.
In the Bible, the
Hmm.
disciples complained to Jesus, "Those people are casting out demons, but they are not with us. Should we strike them down?" Jesus said, "No, let them do what is right." Full stop. Ace doesn't say, but he is promoting himself as a relationship expert, and his audience is trusting his advice.
Again, that's their perception on it. So, uh,
And it would go with Tony too again.
yeah.
And so we're ending with solutions, right? We're
Uh oh.
we're in the age of me and wifey changing the narrative. We started this a couple of seasons ago. Um, where solutions. So when it comes to the relationship situation, and if relationships are dying out, you're having a bad task at trying to just get in some form of relationship, loving relationship with any and everybody. Solutions can come in the form of like we're talking about coaching, and or
Counseling or
counseling or
therapist.
therapy, right? There's no need
There's
to
this
be scared.
distinguishment
Yeah,
between
and
the
it's us
two.
things between the two.
Coaching is dealing with your current situation and how you going to track going forward. And I would say counseling is more so or on the therapy end, dealing with what in the past has gotten
Trauma
you to
and
where
past.
you are, and still in that sense, they also give you tools to help you move forward as well. But they do with therapy and counseling, you really are digging in to that back work and making sure you get what you need
Right,
to make sure you use positive things going forward. So having a therapist and a coach is not a bad idea.
right, right.
Um, making sure those two things coincide and they'll work together is actually a really good idea. So if you're not really sure about advice you're getting from somebody or seeing on the internet or whatever, find you somebody you can trust, a counselor, therapist. I mean, if you got insurance, most of the time this stuff is free, like
Yeah,
free. And I'm talking about professional, real therapist, like somebody who's licensed, went to school. They can look at you and honestly give you like the truth about yourself, even though you don't want it like that, without hurting your feelings. Because at the end of the day, they're still alive before your well being as
right.
well. There's nothing wrong with getting counseling and therapy. We got counselors, we got therapists.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah,
we're surrounded by a lot of coaches too.
yeah, yeah.
We
And
can
so
kind of
Sean is one. Yeah,
piggyback
we
off
got
of the tools that we
so
get from our coaches to help us with what we deal with in therapy to move forward.
right.
So you ain't crazy, and you don't have to take the advice of everybody on the
But I
internet.
would
Go
like
get some real help.
to expound a little bit on coaching because a lot of people don't understand that um, that kind of that live for me presented some key points on why coaching is a tricky business. Not to step on anybody's toes, that coach, I would like to reiterate it is important to know that coaching is an unregulated profession. There are some so called certified schools that seem to hold more weight than others. All in all, there is no regulatory agency monitoring coaches, and there is no licensure required to be a coach. With that lack of regulation surrounding coaching, this opens the door to literally anyone calling themselves a coach without any formal education or training. I know a lot of people now, more than anything, when they're looking at coaches, they sometimes do ask, "Hey, who are you certified under? What can I see your certificate?" type thing. I don't see anything wrong with that because um, I guess like everything else nowadays, you're trying to make sure everything is legit, right? Um, but I go back to my very beginning at the thing because I thought I misread relationship coaching, because for years, oh man, I want to be a relationship coach because what I've gone through and where I've come out of. And I can probably put myself in the
Oh,
seat
you
with
you
Ace
could
and
still be a relationship coach, but you just make sure you pick it up and do it from the perspective that it's seen from.
yeah, no,
Don't
that's not
don't be
that's not mine.
don't
I
be
know
out
exactly,
here
and
therapy behavior for relationship coaching. You know.
well, yeah. So I realized that's not it. After
Hmm.
sitting down and talking to you
Hmm.
yesterday and getting this and understanding it a little bit more, which I'm appreciative of that because again, I was going to school for counseling
Hmm.
and psychiatrists and stuff because that's what I really wanted to do. I always have and still do. And so I'm like, well, with my circumstances, with my illness, and then I was writing off my what you call it. I'm having to basically want to come out of pocket.
Hmm.
So I got to position myself to come out of pocket for it, and it's fine. And I think I'm going to do it.
Therapist is oh, it's a heavy token, I would say. Again, the therapist needs a therapist. I
Yes,
would say if
yes.
that's something that you want to go after, you make sure you cover it, and
What you call
the
it?
therapist got a
My
therapist.
therapist been through. I'm that person sitting down. Yes, I've been through it, sir, ma'am. Yes. Oh, yes,
I
I've seen that
see, I
before.
see.
And then
So yeah, I think we got a few more comments. I agree that there's room for everyone. I'm not sure if this chat, from this chat, if Gaskins wanted was it being prideful when he told Ace Metaphor to be quiet as a single man. Well,
see,
and
that's
one
what
of
I'm
his
saying.
posts, he even just blatantly just said, "Shut up,"
Yes.
and it was like offensive to me. So I was like, "Dang,
So that's what I'm
that was
saying.
kind of
That is
choppy."
not for me. That's not godly. So then that makes me question, like, what are you
You
sitting on at the
could have
point?
said it
Yeah, you
in
could
a
have said it in the
different
bed,
manner.
just like you telling somebody to get the bass out your voice. It doesn't, make you better than the other person. And I really just think like it's money to be made with everybody, and sometimes we just get beside ourselves.
Right.
Um,
Oh, exclusive romantic relationships are in danger. Yes, they are. Commitment and monogamy are a joke to many people. Infidelity
that's why
is
it's very urgent
minimized
to
and
be
side pieces are
certified by
normalized.
ICF. And that's what I found out that you're more qualified, supposedly with the ICF critical accreditation thing,
Credential.
credential thing.
Yeah.
It is a regulation for coaching. Um, and International Coaching Federation, uh, credentials and standards for coaching. Make sure your program is ICF. What you call it? Well, guys, we're over an hour, so we try not to go too far over. So we totally appreciate it. We appreciate the conversation and the banter. And again, that's what I like about doing this.
Let's keep these relationships alive.
Yes, relationships and the conversation.
Keep marriages
Like
alive.
it's okay to have these conversations.
Keep
It's
love
okay for us
alive.
to sit down and have not heated banter, but just banter in a sense. Because again, all of us have different opinions, and sometimes you may be able to tell me something in the audience that I've never heard before, or maybe even to change my point of view on something, and that's okay. What that is called is growth, and a lot of us don't allow that because we automatically have that tunnel vision, and we feel that this person can't. You know what? Kids can teach adults the same way adults can teach kids. You'd be very surprised. And so that's how I look at everything. Somebody, a homeless man, can teach me how to live a better life because some of these homeless people ain't sad. They ain't sad. You have a lot of homeless people that are happy as hell because they ain't got no mortgage. And I ain't talking about the ones that sit up here panhandling. I've actually met one man that he's just out there because he does not want to live in society the way that it is now. He's happy just sitting out there, and he's a veteran, and that's sad too because they treat our veterans so wrong. That's a whole nother topic. But I totally appreciate TikTok guys. Until next time, and
TikTok,
Facebook,
YouTube,
Instagram.
Facebook,
You
Instagram,
guys
all
like the
y'all.
show, follow, please share. Definitely the first part. The last part was a little rant, but the first part, great information all around. Comments. If you're just getting into it, go back and replay it. Hell,
And still go back and leave some comments. We like to uh
yeah. And if anything you guys would like to know about us, please send a DM, comment even on this, and we can even do a Q&A show if you guys would like, and even if you have a topic you would like for us to talk about. There's nothing off the books with us. Again, we're not that couple that sits up here. And one other thing that he stated that I he stated that if me and my wife ain't good, I can't make no posts. That's more better of a time to make a post anyway, I feel, because then you're being authentic and transparent, because marriage is not always good. Things happen. And I be making posts when it's pissing off, and I don't go all in the great details, but it ain't got nothing to always do about our situation. Neither. It's just anything. You should be able to. That's what coaching and counseling is talking about. The good and bad. That's what a great marriage is, to be able to battle and come out of the trenches with my wife when something's bad, and we end up creating a good space for it. So if you're constantly there showing yourself on a good side, someone is going to see, oh, dang, that's what marriage is supposed to be. I can't compete with that. I ain't finna marry nobody, or I ain't finna get in a relationship. I refuse to. But this is work. We know this is work because hey, right now Earth is ghetto because we working, and I'm at the point that it ain't foul. It is not
oh my
foul.
god.
It is not foul. I'm about to kick some kids out the window.
Okay.
Oh, my bad. Let me stop before they sit up and talk about, oh my God, you're talking violence. But so TikTok, we totally appreciate you guys. Y'all have a great night. Toodaloos. All right. And YouTube and Facebook, thank you guys for watching. And y'all have a great night.